Hello, everyone. This is Edwin Rivera with the Millennial Vultures. We talked about this in the past regarding ADU, but a lot of people have been asking me for the last few weeks how to build an ADU. And today I'm going to give you the hot details and the laws for you to build an ADU. So let's go straight to it. Any questions, please feel free to add it to the chat, add it as a comment. And as we go, I'm going to be able to answer those questions to the best of my knowledge. Okay, so the state laws. First of all, the state sets minimal guidelines. So every state in the state of California since 2017, they set minimal guidelines how to build an ADU. Now, the city may apply additional guidelines, but technically the city cannot restrict you from building an ADU. The California Department of Housing and Community Development, technically the law, they're the ones who's gonna allow you to make an ADU in anywhere in the state of California. Okay, now ADU, what exactly is an ADU? So an ADU, just to let you know, it's an accessory dwelling unit. So technically, you're able to build, even though if your land is only a single family resident home, you are able to build like a second unit on the property. The second unit can have a full kitchen, can also have a bathroom and also a bedroom as well. Okay. Now with the new laws, you can the ADU it can be rented and also can be leased as well. And depending what type of ADU, you can also do short-term rentals like Airbnb. So you're able to do that as well. Now, an ADU can be attached, it can be also detached, or it can be a conversion of the garage into an ADU. Okay, so a lot of people, most people, when they build an ADU, they usually add it on the garage because they already have the foundation, they has the framing, and also has the roof. So it might be less expensive to convert the garage into an ADU, but you can also you can also build an ADU on flat land where there's nothing on it. You can build an ADU as well. Okay. Now, a new law that just passed a few months ago. So before, when you build an ADU or a junior ADU, some cities they will not allow you to rent those units. You can only build it, but family has to own or occupy that unit. Now, with the new laws, if you want to build it and you want to rent it out, you can do that as you please in most of the cities. Now, this is the minimum requirements that an ADU needs to have, okay? So the living bedroom area has to be a minimum of 70 square feet, okay? The bathroom has to have a minimum 30 square feet, okay? And the kitchen, closet, and hallways has to have a minimum of 50 square feet. Okay, so those are the minimum requirements. The bedroom, the living room, the bathroom can be as big as you want, but it has to have those minimum requirements. Now, a junior ADU, so it's a little bit different. An ADU versus a junior ADU. Okay, just to let you know, a junior ADU means that the unit is not more than 500 square feet. Okay, so technically, an ADU you can build as big as you please, and of course, depending how big it's going to be the space or what you're going to build in. But a junior ADU that can be a second ADU cannot be more than 500 square feet of size. Okay. Now, the junior ADU can also have a bathroom as well. But a junior ADU, the benefit as well, if let's say if you had a section of the home and you want to split the house into two units, for the second section you want to make it into a junior ADU, you can also use like common facilities like kitchen, possible bathrooms to be used between the main house and the junior ADU. Okay. Okay. Now, in most cities, you can build when you have a single family resident home, you can build one ADU and you can build one junior ADU on a single family resident home. So technically, the single family resident home you can make it up to 3 units with the regular ADU and also with the junior ADU. Now, these graphics will teach you exactly the different options you have to build an ADU. Okay, um, the most common way you can do it, for example, the first option is can be the one on the left. You can This is the house. You can make that ADU into the garage. Now you can leave the garage untouched, and you can build an ADU on the back patio, as you see on the first square on the left. The second option you can do as well. And now, also keep in mind, in some cases, this option can be a little bit more expensive because you have to restructure the foundation and the framing of the garage as well. Okay, the second option, you can do it above the garage. If you don't want to sacrifice your patio or the space, you don't want to sacrifice the garage as well, you can build the ADU on top of the garage. Okay. The third option, you can do a detach. That will be you can do it on the back. Now, the last option is the option that I was talking on the previous slide, where you can do an ADU on the back, and you can also a portion of the property you can make it into a junior ADU. Okay. Now, multi-families ADUs. Okay. On the multifamilies, yes, you can also build in ADUs. Okay. Now there are restrictions. So if you have a duplex, you have a triplex, or you have a fourplex, you can only add two ADUs to that multi-units. Okay. You cannot add more than two units from that multi-unit property. And this can be a great example if you have a duplex or property, and you want to build an ADU. So technically, the front construction, as you can see on this graphic, the front house or the front is going to be the duplex, the triplex, etc. So on the back, you can build two separate ADUs that you can also rent it out. Now, if you have a multi-units, in the city of LA, we see a lot of this type of construction where you have a one, two units on the front, and you have a three, four car garage on the back, and on the top, you already have an existing unit on the property. Now, the garage that you have on the bottom, you can make that into an ADU as well. So that can be a good example when you're able to convert the garage into an ADU. Now, on those garage, you can only add again only two ADUs when it's a multi-unit. Okay. Now, since January 1st, 2025, the laws allow you, like I mentioned before, to add two detached ADUs to the properties, and you can convert up to 25% of the construction into a junior ADU as well. Now, SB 1211 increased the current restrictions on the number of ADUs on a multiple property that can be detached from two up to eight, depending on the existing number of multifamily units on site. And SB 1211 also prohibits local governments from requiring replacement of surface parking spaces when existing parking and repurposed for ADUs. Now, the city design and construction process. Okay, so this in the past, I built an ADU in the duplex that I have as a property. So this is the few of the things that we always advise before building an ADU. One, before you hire anyone, a contractor, before you hire like an architect, make, make sure that you have the right budget for you to be able to build the ADU. Okay, set a budget because the last thing you want is to start doing the construction or hiring an architect, but you don't have the funds for the construction. Because keep in mind, the moment they approve your plans, you're gonna have and you pay for the permits. Most cities only gonna allow you 1 year for you to be able to build an ADU. Okay. Now the second thing you wanna take in consideration is that gonna be a brand new unit? Are you gonna add it to the existing construction that you have, or are you gonna add it as well to the garage? Okay. Now after you finish the ADU, are you gonna keep it as a personal property for your family, or are you gonna rent it out? Okay. Now the time frame for the plants to be ready, as an average, is between 4 to 6 weeks. Okay, so before you even start construction, before you start, anything that it comes with the construction, the moment you hire an architect, it's going to take approximately 4 to 6 weeks for them to be able to process the plans, also to submit it to the city. Depending on the city, they might take a little bit longer, but as an average, you're going to take between 4 to 6 weeks. Okay. Now, when you submit it to the city, it's gonna go through a few steps, and in most cases, depending who you hire, what is the architect that you're gonna hire, it's gonna go through the planning department, has to go through the building department, through the fire department. Okay, that might take between 7 to 9 weeks for them for that process to go through everything and for them to be able to give it the final approval. Okay. Now, after they approve the plans and the permits are ready for issue, that's in most cases that's when you're going to be able to get a bid from the contractor, because at that time you have the plans approved. That's when you're going to be able to go to different contractors for them to give you a bid for that specific job site. Okay. Now make sure you're ready to go when you pull the permits, because the moment you pull the permits, you're going to be paying a fee. As an average, it's going to be somewhere between 3,000, 5,000, depending on the amount of the construction and also depending on the city. But after you pull the permits, you're only going to have 1 year for you to be able to complete the work. In some cases, some cities, you might be able to get an extension, but that extension is usually around 6 months for you to be able to finish. Now, the ADU sizes, it can be as minimum as 150 square feet and can be as maximum as 1,200 square feet. Okay, depending on the city, like for example, the city of Long Beach, the maximum that you can do is 800 square feet on the size of the ADU. Okay, now if you're doing as an attached ADU, meaning it's attached to the property, um, the ADU size cannot exceed 50% of the living area of the original construction already. Okay, now city of Whittier, the maximum for the city of Whittier, as long as you have a lot that is less than 20,000 square feet, it's 1,200. If the lot is bigger than 20,000, you can go up to 1,500 on the ADU. Now, yard setbacks. A lot of people think when they build an ADU, they can go all the way to the property line. Okay, for the front, you have to be at least 20 feet from the property line. From the back of the land, you have to be at least 4 feet, and from the side, you have to be 4 feet. Okay. Now, if you're building an ADU on a corner lot, you have to be 20 feet from the front, 4 feet from the back, and 4 feet from the side. Now, from the street side, you have to be at least 10 feet away from it. Okay. My apologies. So that will be that information for today regarding ADUs. If you guys are considering building an ADU, feel free to reach out to us. We can connect you with an architect, and also we can connect you with a contractor that can help you with everything. Okay. When it comes to finance, you have multiple options. One of them can be refinancing a house. Another option can be also a HELOC. Okay. Any questions you have, feel free to give us a call or contact us. Thank you so much and have an amazing day.